Hey guys, it's Gommo with another Warhammer Battle Report. This time it's my Empire taking on some Ogres. This will be for MrMalorians around the world in 12 games campaign. Um, I've taken it's 2,400 points. This isn't any prep or anything for anything. We just asked him if he could play because I knew he had Ogres, and he said yes, that's good. Now the list, just a bit of background. I was going to try a bit of an experimental list with more knights and all this sort of stuff. Then my work got in the way, so I didn't get a chance to. I just wasn't happy with it. I grabbed my list that I'd last played Wood Elves against and just threw in a Shadow Mage instead of the light. So I've got a Strength 5 banishment still, but this list actually doesn't have a cannon except for on the steam tank, and it's got a fair bit of archers and things like that, and the 4 units, 2 units of demigryphs, a 4 and a 3. Um, if you've seen some of my other empires that reports haven't been going too well on, I've just been camping and sitting in the back, and even though this is ogres, my main focus of the game was to try and just look at, think about the movement phase. And I'd be quite happy if I could take out some of his stuff and never get in contact with his iron guts, or like whatever his gut star will be. Um, this player originally didn't have any iron blasters, so I wasn't I wasn't going to be surprised if I rocked up and he didn't have any. But he actually did acquire 2 of them. He's painting them up, so I'm like, oh no, because I didn't bring cannons. Well, I didn't bring many. Anyway, so he had a bruiser. He's got a butcher on level 2 or more, and then a slaughtermaster on heavens. His iron guts. So his guts stay there. 2 10 sets of nobblers, 3 Mournfang Stonehorn, 2 cats, 2 ambushing gorges, and his 2 new iron blasters. And let's skip over to the magic. So yeah, I went with Shadow, and obviously my preference was going to see if I can get Pit and Withering and Miasma, which I can always get. And I didn't roll any doubles, so I couldn't get Pit. So I've got Occams, which is great, but I really wasn't wanting to get into combat, so I'm like, oh, damn. Like, I'm already down, I thought, in at least what my strategy was. On my light wizard, actually rolled fars, and because I didn't have the cannons, I thought, look, maybe I'll bring this and try and throw this on my Hellblaster or Steam Tank. Um, in hindsight, maybe I should have switched to Shems to get a little bit more something to shoot. He ended up with the Stubborn spell from Moore and the +1 Strength. And then Heavens, he has Ice Shard, Harmonic, and Comet and Chain Lightning. So quite scary. And here's my deployment. Actually ended up rolling to go first as well. So his Iron Blasters are out on the... Well, let me show you where his is, and then I'll talk about what I was thinking of doing. So he's got his Iron Blasters out on the left. His Mournfang, and his Gut Star with the Nobblers in front, proxied. Stonehorn out on the right, and then he's going to have his... and 1 cat right on the left, 1 cat right on the right. You can see his gorges there just ready to come on. My deployments, so I've got my vanilla, well they're not vanilla knights, they're 5 inner circles. I was going to try and rush up and try and take on at least, or distract a Iron Blaster. He put his Mournfang down there then, and at some, like, closer to the end. And so then I thought, well, I'll try to do that still, but I can use the knights and the archers to try and tie up the Mournfang. And the steam tank's going to rumble down the middle and try and, if it has to get in, like run into the iron guts to hold them up. I mean, I just don't want my demis and my halberds in combat with them straight away. I wanted to try and take off his other things, and then, if I've got some demis left, then maybe go in. But, wanted the Hellblast to shoot them and things, but wasn't totally sure. But my plan on the right was to move up both demis and the halberds and take the Stonehorn out and then come around the back, or that sort of thing. I didn't want to stand still, and especially having Heavens with Comet, I didn't want to stand still, and that was that's the goal of what I want to try to do, is just move a bit more than I have. So whether or not I achieve the right movement, who knows. So I get turn 1, and yeah, I do. I move up. I move up the 3 units of 3 demis within his Stonehorn's charge range. He needs 11, but just to try and frenzy bait him. Um, the knights on the left you can't see them, but they've swung, did a big wheel, 90-degree wheel, and heading around that building. And the archers are just, everything's moving up, not full pace, but enough to start. If he moves up, then I can work out charge distance and stuff. If he doesn't, I'll move up more next turn. I've moved the Pope Mobile up so I can. The first plan of attack for this turn is to try and magic off that, or put some wounds on that Stonehorn with banishment if I get enough dice. And I've lined the steam tank up for a shot. Actually, I've lined the steam tank up for a shot on his Mournfang. Sort of ignoring the Iron Blasters at the moment, to my detriment. So magic was 10-7. I got -1 movement on these guys. Then I get only -1 withering on this guy. And I think we played this wrong because I believe he ends up in combat at some point, and I think we forgot to add withering on it. I must have picked the card up. But in any case, it was only a -1 to its toughness. We're showing the toughness as 5 there on the dice, not that I rolled a 5. So my cannon goes through, hits the Mournfang, rolls a 1 to wound, so that was useless. And then he gets to go, so he's moved his Mournfang up. The cat's moved up a bit, his Iron Guts have stayed where they are, and his Stonehorn has moved back. And you can see the cat there on the right, it's just sort of hanging out behind the building. So yeah, he's playing more defensively. He's going to outshoot me, and he's got Comet, and so yeah, not too bad. Anyway, that's where he ends up after movement. Magic was 10-5. He gets he actually so he threw Comet down. I actually let that go because I thought, look, I'm going to be moving, so I don't really care. Let it come down. Now it was turn 1. I didn't want to be throwing a scroll right now. He failed to cast Chain Lightning, but yeah, you can see where the Comet puts it right there. And then his Iron Blasters go to work and hits my Arch Lector. I fail a ward. Luckily, he rolls 2 wounds, so he's on 1 wound left. And I've got 2 wounds left on the buff wagon, so that hurt. And he hits the demis there and takes 1 out. Sorry about some of these pictures aren't great quality or blurry, so I think the black table and the lighting was really screwing my camera around. I was trying to work with it through the night. So my turn 2. Yeah, I'm just moving my knights around the corner and trying to roadblock his Mournfang. And then because of the damage that the Iron Blast has done, I've now moved my steam tank ready to shoot at one of them. Magic's 11-6. The Comet doesn't come down. I tried to get Fars up on, or Bubble Fars it was actually, because that would cover the Arch Lector, and all these guys here, but he dispels it. And then I think I got the -3 either to movement on Miasma here, or the full one, so -3 to all of their stats. Can't recall. It was something like that. Open up the Hellblaster on the Mournfang, but we measured it, and they're getting a cover save from my guys in front, plus long range. I think it was 6 to hit, so I managed to wound or something like that. That was pretty bad. He may have even saved it, to be honest. It was pretty poor on my behalf. And then it was even worse when I went and shot my steam tank. So I don't even think that's right. And did a wound, just 1 wound or something on that guy. Yeah, shocking. Take out a couple of Nobblers with some archers, but that was about it. So he comes into Ogre turn 2, and yeah, he decides to go for the charge, and he gets it. I'd moved up a little bit by now, so it wasn't a huge charge. So yeah, I mean, I was worried, but you can see I don't have the magic card next to him. So I think we did play, and I'm just trying to remember. I think he was toughness 6 we were playing, so technically he's toughness 5. I think I might be wrong. My opponent may have remembered. Sometimes I forget, and they remember, luckily. One of his Gorges come on at the back. and he moves his Mournfang like that. And now they had a bit of discussion. I was saying, well, my plan was to run these knights up and try and take on your Iron Blasters, and then I'm working out with both movement 7, you're going to crush me in a charge unless I can get a flank on you, and I'm not going to get a flank on you, so yeah, I don't think that's a great plan. But anyway, it is sending his Mournfang away from other lines, so I'm happy with that, at least. Yeah, I mean, his Iron Guts aren't moving. That was about it there. Magic ends up being 7 to 5, and this is devastating. He gets Irresistible Chain Lightning off. Kills one archer there, kills 2 archers there. Don't think he hurts a steam tank. Pops a demi there. Jumps back over here. Kills my Arch-Elector. Couple of wounds on my halberds, and what's that? 3 archers gone here, and a wound done on these demis. So I think it went through 8 units. he ran out of people to hit rather than failed to roll a 3 up. The Iron Blaster comes through and takes out another demi. So yeah, outranged and getting hit. So into combat, the Stonehorn only managed a wound on the demis. We failed the fear test though, which sucked. So I don't even know. Yeah, we got 1 wound back on him. So I can't remember what happened there, but obviously none of us ran away. Going on to Empire turn 3, I've got 1 demi left out of the 4, and he charges. You can just see the blurry shot on the right into the flank of this Stonehorn. And yeah, things are just, my archers on the bottom there are just, I think they just spun around. We're not really doing too much. Now back the knights off. They are, and tried to get, the knights on the left I've backed off. And I've got 2 archers left, and I'm trying to create a little bit of a roadblock on the Mournfang. And I go for the stank to try and smash into the Mournfang in the back. I don't roll high enough, but I do have a 1 steam point left for a cannon shot. And that's the same picture, I think. Yeah, sorry these pics are a bit blurry. I think these black tables, yeah, playing with it. Yeah, and then I misfire my cannon, so get a word. So sometimes I wonder why I play this game, but anyway. Magic's 12 to 7. He pretty much scrolled and dispelled everything except for, I think it was either miasma or enfeebling on that Stonehorn. So it was 12 dice magic phase and got nothing done. But yeah, combat's enough to break him, and that's where we end up. So yeah, I mean, did what I wanted over on that flank, but lost far too many demis. Unfortunately. I tried with only 2 archers left. I tried to sort of create a bit of a blockage for this Gorger to stop him getting in here, but there just wasn't. I couldn't move far enough or whatever it was, and I'd moved the halberds, I think, up a bit, or some of them had died. So yeah, there was enough room. He easy gets his charge into my Hurricaneum, which isn't going to be nice. Hindsight, I should have fled that. Just thinking, why didn't I flee that and bump through? I should have fled that and hopefully bumped through the impassable terrain at the back there, but yeah, silly. Oh, well, might have been an option. Sabertusk comes into the flank of that guy. 6. So I think there was 8 or something of the Nobblers come in. I killed 2 with stand and shoot. And the Mournfang go into these 3 archers. That's his end of turn 3. He's moved his Iron Guts a little bit to start facing my demis. And he gets 12 dice magic phase, so he ice shards the Hurricaneum. I think he also gets harmonic on the Gorger. I 6 dice to spell Comet this time, and he doesn't have enough dice. He tries to cast Chain, but doesn't get it. In shooting, the Iron Blaster does 10 from the back from my Wizard, hits him on the head, but I look out, saw him, and then he fails. He rolls a 1 to wound the poor Halberdier who pushed the Wizard out of the way. So was good on my part. But then the other Iron Blaster puts 3 wounds on my Stank, which sucked, and took a couple of archers out as it bounced through too. So yeah, the archer's up in front of that Mornfang and dead, and now he's in the flank of these guys. And I take out that kitty, obviously. Yes, in the Hurricane combat, he's gorgeous taking that out and overrun. I was actually, yeah, really big overrun, 11 or whatever, and so he's ended up, now I can charge him. My turn 4, what do I do here? Because I've got 4 wounds, so I go 4 steam points knowing I'm probably going to misfire. I do. And I vent D3, and I have 1 steam point left. So for me to hit the back of the Mornfang, I need to roll a 5. And I do. Finally some luck. I get a 5 into the back of the Mornfang. Yeah, my demis have just tried to get out of the charge range of those Iron Guts, so one's gone around out of line of sight on the right, and the other 2 couldn't get out by going straight ahead, and so they sort of head out that way. I should have done even a more radical wheel and just tried to get around the back of that building earlier, but I didn't do that. And the halberds go into that Gorger, so I should be able to take them out. The 2 archers left there are moving up to try and eventually roadblock the Iron Guts, but I don't think they're going to get there. And now the archers on the bottom went that way to face the other incoming Gorger. That's a mistake too. I should have taken them as fast as they could, 8 inches forward, to try and become another roadblock for the Iron Guts. I don't think they would have made it, but who knows. So that's about it there. Magic 6 to 4. I mean, he lets me pretty much get everything off. He knows this guy's going to die. And the Hellblaster takes out that Gorger. And we take out the other Gorger. And Reform to go the other way. I put I think a wound when the impact hits. It was pretty bad. Is that right? Actually, no, it looks like we've taken... No, what am I saying? We've taken an entire Mornfang out. Must have done 4 wounds or something like that. With the charge and the flanks and rears, actually, I think we win this one and he holds. So turn 4, he goes for a long charge on my halberdiers and doesn't make it and just stumbles forward. Finds out that that forest is a venom thicket. His cat comes into the flank of my inner circles, and he drops the comet. Magic 10 to 5. I scroll. He's chain lightning this time. Dispel his stubborn. I think he does. Yeah, he went stubborn spell on the Mornfang. I dispel that, and then comet comes down, and I fail to misspell it by 1. We have a dead Demigriff over here from Iron Blaster number 1. And he's Iron Blaster number 2 misfires and can't shoot next turn, so he'll only be able to shoot in turn 6. So yeah, my inner circles are dead, and these 2 Mornfang turn around to face my steam tank. Into my turn 5. Yeah, it's good. I actually misfired. I'm trying to work out how I misfired and took a wound, but whatever happens, I had enough. I had 3 steam points to grind, and I got them all and took out his Mornfang. But now I've got 5 wounds. Yeah, the 2 archers moved more into that forest to try and act as some type of speed bump, but I just can't get these halberdiers out of the way with this impassable behind me. I think I was debating going Swift Reform bus and moving back towards my line, but yeah, I think I don't think it would have put much distance, like shortest to shortest anyway, and he would have just got me in the rear if that was the case, so yeah, it is what it is. And then I stupidly forgot the comp was even there and didn't move my archers much, and also moved the boatmobile right, yeah, closer to it. I totally forgot it was there. So that's what happens when it's after midnight. These guys have just done a massive wheel to try and get behind this building. Yeah, there you can see how close I've moved to the comet with the rest of the Archlector's wagon. Magic was 5 to 2. I think I get the big miasma off. I can't remember. And it was the big one, -3, but I can't remember if it was just movement or if I got the big one off. Nah, it must have just been the small one, just for movement. And I get Occam's off on these guys, which was great. It was irresistible, and so I lost everything except for like withering or enfeebling foe or something. But I believe now I'm thinking, did I lose Occam's? And if I did, why did I cast in the last turn? Might have made a mistake here. I don't know. So Hellblaster shoots at his Gutstar, only managed 1 wound. So that sucked. I mean, I didn't really expect heaps, but anyway. Empire turn 5, in they come. They're going to take those archers out. They're dead. And yeah, I mean, he's just and his Iron Blasters. I guess they're moving around to try to shoot at my demis. The comet comes down. There goes my engineer. There goes my Hellblaster. There goes my pump wagon. Buff wagon, whatever it is. And there goes my archers, and leaving the wizard, who panics and runs away. So, yeah, massive turn in points. I mean, I knew it was probably going to happen, but I calculated after the game. We'll probably talk about it soon. It was the point swing's huge. Rolled one to wound on these demis, so they're going to survive because I've got to get behind the building. And Ogre turn 5. Obviously, there he kills those archers and reforms. And my turn 6. I go for 4 steam points. I misfire the stank and get 2 wounds. Get 2 wounds, get 2 steam points. So it's enough to at least pick up another 35 points of nobblers, but that's about it. These guys run to safety, and their nobblers are dead. I'm pretty sure. Tom might be, no, but we've got 2 wounds there. I'm pretty sure I lost Occam's, so I shouldn't have been able to cast Occam's, I'm pretty sure. But it doesn't really matter in the end because I said to him in his turn, if I had Occam's up, would he charge me if this was a tournament? Originally he said no, but then I said to him, well, you're going to just do so much damage anyway. And then he said, yeah, he would have anyway, so I don't think whether or not I had Occam's or not, it would have just meant less wounds back to him, but it didn't really matter. Ogre turn 6, they come in. They do 10 impact hits, and 25 wounds in combat. So he basically leaves me with 4 guys left. I managed 10 wounds back, so if I didn't have Occam's, that would have been, probably, only 3 or 4 wounds back. But in any case, I mean, made no difference. I was on double ones and obviously failed that, so there goes the halberds. So crushing Empire loss. Getting good at these. No cannons there. I mean, they just killed me. Those Iron Blasters and then Chain Lightning and Comet. I mean, Chain Lightning and Comet, not much I can do about that. I think, too big. Well, the big list change for me, just if I'd brought more cannons, that would have helped to at least compete in that phase. And if I'd rolled Pit, it would have been a lot different too. I think I didn't have any long range spells that were of any damage spells, so he didn't need to dispel anything. So that was different to what I'm used to with the Empire. Usually I've got banishments and stuff, and he took that out with like turn 2 or whatever when he killed my Arch Lector. So that's what you get. It's interesting, when I added the points up, obviously he smashed me, but going into his second last turn, and I'd had 5 turns, it was quite even, about 780 points each. And then his turn 5, I think he got an extra 528 or something, and then in the next turn he got another 860 or whatever it is. So totally smashed me there in the last 2 turns. And we knew that was going to happen. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Ogres are tough, and I think that list needed to be changed for that. But I don't know, I thought movement-wise, I didn't get in combat with those Iron Guts to turn 6, so I'll take that as a win for the movement, for my plan of keeping them out of the game, but it didn't help. Anyway, see you next time, guys.